Alright, Alan, let's do this. Okay, I'm going to go through the scene, actually how I set up my scenes and how I like to work. So I don't know if you saw those podcasts or if you've done this earlier in the program, but this is how I approach animating. Okay, so this is how I do it. So I will go through and do it. It might be a long critique, I might have to break it up into pieces, but I want you to kind of see how I go about it. Okay, actually let me turn my music off here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is select, turn off this, make sure my scene is set up properly. So I turn everything off, and I just turn on the poly, and then NURBS curves. And now I have this turned off, so I can't select the background. So you probably already know this stuff. Oh, we got a lightning storm. There's some thunder. Okay, so hopefully it doesn't knock out the power. What was that? Oh, okay, so select this guy. And I will go in and create some buttons for each character. Okay, so this is keyed, which is good. So I'll go to 8 and move it. So I have some space between the two. Okay, so I'll grab that. Now you can make selection sets, or you can do buttons. So I'll go ahead and actually let me check my preferences real quick here. Make sure everything's set up correctly. 24. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay, looks good. Alright, so select all, and I'm going to, oops, wrong button. Okay, so I clear. Is it that one? Yeah. So now, so I'll do a select all. Select that. There's an all. I'll put B all, like ball, but you know, for big all, for the big eye. And then Mel. Then I will do the translates. These are just my starter off ones, so I might not even use it, but I almost always do. So, and then I'll grab those pull vectors in there too. His cog and his hands. I think it's these guys. Okay. And this and this. So there's our those. Trans. I'll put B for big dude. I don't know if I can see it up there. Yeah. And then I will do his spine. So anything related to his back. 1, 2, 3. Not sure what that is. I'll grab it anyway. This guy. Okay. So I'll make a button out of that. That'll be his spine. Okay. No. Okay, so now I have that basic setup. And usually I make one with like a select all with no face and then a select all with the face, but since he doesn't have a face, don't need to do that. So now that I have that all done, I could take this and delete it, number 8, or that key, so he'll pop back to where he was, but I won't do that yet because I want to make buttons for this dude. So here we'll have a, actually let me clear this, make it easy. Get some serious thunder over here. So that's all. I'll put this for little, so capital L, A, O, L.
I just want to see if this works.
Okay, Mel. And, oh, spine. Actually, I'll do this trans first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and good, got them all. Okay, so I'll put this as L trans for little guy. Okay. No, and then I will do spine, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then this thing here, whatever that is.
I mean, the issue would be if you're far enough away.
Okay.
To your key fob.
I'll put this as L spine. Okay. Cool. So now we're kind of set up. Now I'm going to go. Wait.
And I mean, a lot of new
Save. Save all shelves. So now it's kind of saved in my
You can also do
file there, and then I'll save the scene.
hack that.
And I'll rename it.
Easy on the highway.
I'll just name this Sean S. So
Reading about hackers,
01, because this is the one I'm going to work on.
probably want what you're steering.
Okay. Make sure it's in the right spot. Downloads. Okay. Good. All right. So now I'm ready to kind of, oops, start animating. So don't be alarmed when I start blowing stuff away here. So here, take that, delete this, boom. Okay, so now he's back to where he was. So we got our initial pose. So I'll start with, let me watch it a few times here.
Yeah.
Well, I think this will fix
Kind of
that.
freezing up on me.
Random shit.
Kind of heavy.
That makes sense.
I think it's Chris Traeger's going to Anne. He's like, I relish
Oh,
your
cool.
wit. And she's like, I saw your face.
There's a little white tip on the end.
Okay.
And then she's just like, what?
Okay, so I'll turn off this guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's like,
What do you think?
I'd love to get together soon. I'd love to
Oh, it
catch
doesn't
up."
turn off his,
He's like, oh, so
let's
you like
see.
this?
Hmm. There we go. Kind of turn that off so it's not distracting.
You would know if the other one was.
Okay. Okay, and like I can do the same thing with this. I can just like, you know, go to frame 2 and just
About?
throw it way over there. See, I have auto key on, I use auto key. So now I don't have to worry about bumping into that.
Yeah.
So now I can just focus on this guy. Because he's leading the scene, right? So his first pose here works. Okay, so now centered. Alright. So select all. He's keyed. I make sure everything's keyed. I use the S key. Totally fine. So now we have him. Ooh, big one. Okay, so I'm gonna just blow this away and start over. It's just easier. Get everybody's getting excited around here. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this.
Oh, yeah.
I was calling a couple people and I was
Come
like,
on.
"Wait, said it was
Okay.
You're like, yeah, we're all right.
See, it's chuggy. What's going on here?
Still fun. It was.
Oh, it's not letting me select.
I just want to see if the well, like, you weren't using this one.
I don't even like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Weird.
Lions.
Okay. Middle mouse select. I'm still actually, I'm using 16, but I'm still kind of mentally in 14 or 15. So anyway, let's build that next pose. So we have our starting pose. Then we want a big anticipation, right? So I'm just going to hit key everything, and I'm going to work on. I'm going to, you know, like so. I'm going to have him do a weight shift because we want him to go forward. So one of the best things about animating, is to think about like just the little things that you're going to do to kind of bring it to life, and a lot of that is just little mundane things we do naturally. So I'm going to shift this foot over,
Does that make sense?
and then actually I'll do the trans button, and then unselect the feet, and then just move them over like that. So now we have this pose, and then this pose, right? Whoa, what the heck was that? Okay. Wait, is this the cog? This is really heavy. Why is this so heavy?
Oh, like people that are outside of the park. Like,
Okay, there's a cog. Let's try that again. Trans.
Yeah, so I'll fix the UVs
Okay, that works. Nah, everything's freaking out here. There, that is so strange. Okay. That is weird. Okay, so anyway, so we have that pose. So now we have to break that down. Now this isn't done, but we're going to go. So here's frame 1, or pose 1, pose 2, right? So we know, since he's going backwards, right? Not everything's going to move at the same time. We have this thing called opposing action. So as he goes left, his arms are going to go the opposite way, which is going to affect his shoulders. Just a little bit, right? Oh, that's on his shoulder.
Yeah, you're close.
Okay, so then I use the greater than less than keys right above the space bar, and I look at him from this pose to that pose. Okay, so he's going down, so that means because his spine is going to drag a little bit, right? Which means it's gonna be a little bit more upright, just a tiny bit, just enough to pick it up, right? So do that. So from here down, so just a little bit, right? And you need to start animating his independent hip rotation. Don't translate it, you rotate it. So I'm going to get rid of these translates. Weird. This is having a hard time updating. Get rid of that too. Okay, so now this is gonna rotate because his weight is on this back foot, right? So his hips need to shift. And then what I do is I look at it from different angles. Like his leg position's a little bit weird. Okay, this knee should be up there, and his hip should probably be a little bit more like that. See? That's why that leg looked all jacked up, because it wasn't accurate. There we go. So now we have some more weight, I guess, on this one. Yeah, okay. Oops. So we'll copy that over there. Delete this. So I'm building keyframes, right? So this front, so here actually we're going to have more weight on that front leg because he's leaning on it, right? So then this one will go back like that a little bit different. Not too much, but enough to pick up, right? And we don't want these arms to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to
This is the one I've been experimenting with the most. I'm trying to do
rotate this hand a little bit, and we're going to translate it up. So we're going from this to this, okay? So now we're moving into this post. Now, between those two, which I normally wouldn't do this yet because I'm blocking it in, but you can do a select all, and you can look at what's in the middle, right? You can do this, and you can go, okay, well, which one do I want to favor? Do I want to favor this pose or this pose? I want to favor this pose, right? Because he's moving out of it. This is a static pose. So this key would probably actually be more like 25, which is 1 second, right? 24 frames a second. It's basically a frame over a second. So then we know when he starts off, he's going to slow out and then move into this pose, right? So we're going to need a breakdown of the foot and the leg and all that, but I'm not going to do that yet, okay? So actually I'll move this back just to keep it simple. Because I like to block in my keys, my main idea poses, then I space them out and break them down. So I'll show you how I do that in a little bit. So I'll keep it like here on 5s or whatever. Actually, I'll make this frame 9. So I always animate on the odds. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It's just easier to keep track of. Okay, so 9. So key that. So everything's keyed. Okay, so now he's going to start moving forward. So we'll take his cog. He's going to do that. But what's happening now? Look at his hips. They're hyperextending that leg. You can't do that. So I have to rotate it. and make it
Don't
work
drown in the monsoon.
so it works within the parameters of what his body actually can do. So then the heel of his foot has to come off the ground because look, his ankle looks broken, right? So now you have to rotate that heel. Let's see, heel ball, I think. There we go, something like that, right? So now we go from here to, whoa, that's nice. This is tripping out, huh? What the heck is that? This is like, let me see something here real quick. Oh, smooth on them. Let's turn that off, man. Yeah, oh, you don't, yeah, keep it low res. It moves faster. There you go, perfect. What the hell? Oh, let's turn this. This should be off. It should be off. Let me double check this with the graph. I always have a graph editor button so I can just pop it out there. This is weird. I wonder if like the lightning jacked up my machine here. Huh. Oh. Turn her off here. Smooth off. What the hell is this? Alright, I'm just going to delete this. Select all. Delete it. Okay, try it again. Alright, good. Okay, so I was moving forward, so we're going to take this one. So I'm going to take this pose here. Translate him forward, which means his hips are leaning more on this leg, which means we're going to have more something like this maybe. We have to animate this foot coming off the ground now. Toe up, down. That one? No. Heel. Yeah. Something like that. And that means the knee looks pretty jacked up because the knee needs to be more in now. Knee over the toe. This one looks okay. We'll move it out some. Okay, so now we're going from 5 to 9, so we'll go back to 5. This is freaking me out here. I don't know what the hell is going on with this.
Load them. You have to load them all at once. Test. If it shows you a number, you do a good job. So you set it right.
Is there like translations on this or something? Why is this moving away from the
So this is the way I like doing
the body?
because you get more
Sorry.
art direction behind it.
Yeah.
Translates. That is bizarre. It's not updating. Well, I'll just have to keep doing it manually, I guess.
See, the hair's already trying to do it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
It won't paper,
So now
but it only takes a month.
he's going from, so we have him go back, and now he's going forward. Actually, I would have this foot come out first, so he's going to go back here. We need a key, actually, the foot's going to be forward like this.
As soon as you go to mod,
So that way we can get more of a moving forward action. And then this is going to twist a little bit,
this is probably why I didn't show you. 'Cause these
just a
are guide
smidgen.
curves, which you probably know by now. But there's-
And he's going to be twisting as well because he's going to start doing that. He's getting ready to do a punch. So, and see how it's kind of arced this way? I just go to the top like that, and then use this guy to twist him.
That's so weird. Like
Something like this.
shit.
Get that neck down. I'm thinking of always about the entire character. The whole pose, not just moving one thing at a time.
Okay, I see something's for guys.
So he's going to maybe kind of lean in with his head a little bit.
It's clump, yes, per clump is basically,
Yeah.
per object, so we
Okay,
so I can
so
see
we'll
that,
go check the pose again. 5, 9. So I'm going to translate this arm.
see how tight it is.
Okay, let's find that pole vector. Where'd that guy go? Is that it? Yeah.
So now they're a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
And the reason that they're not falling perfectly yet, so that's not falling apart
Yeah.
over here.
Looks like some weird action going on here. Oh, this is translated. No wonder. Okay.
Okay.
It shouldn't be. You don't translate the upper body. You just rotate it.
Fill in, so
I don't know if it started out that way or not. Maybe it did, but
Those spots are
just keep it.
Okay.
Just use rotations. It's easier. Translations are only for getting yourself out of sticky situations, or if you're trying to do something extreme for like one frame or something.
Looks weird. It's like,
yeah.
So here, we're building this pose. So we want to build a nice big punch pose, right? So you have to work within the confines of the anatomy itself. You can't just like throw it over there and you know, hope for the best. You kind of have to work your way over to it. So if we're going to get a big punch, like if he's going to do a big haymaker swing type punch, we need to get that arm out there.
This, the throwing from that point is just
that's cool.
Like this. Bring
this is
her up.
what you'll do hairstyles. One reason I didn't show you for this dude is because
Furry.
Like that. Let's get this over here.
so you would think the attribute wouldn't work right there. I don't know why you're just spinning on off like that.
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
this, I think, I'm just going to
So
zero
I
out and
asked
start
about,
over.
Adding some randomness
Okay.
to length and to
When in doubt,
texture,
zero it out.
You're doing,
like
Raise that arm up there. There we go. That's starting to look good.
Are there any just in there that I just can apply, or how?
Let's see, is it better down? That's better up like that.
all these modifiers are
And this would probably move more towards the center because he's twisting.
cut modifiers.
So it's going to be more like
got
that.
them down in length, but
I just want like a noise, like.
It's kind of like, you know, when you put your hand out when you're going to throw a baseball, you know, you kind of, you're like gauging the distance. Or you're going to throw a giant punch, you do that with your hand, you put your hand out there. He might even extend his hand out, like open his hands up.
Would noise
So we'll
give
put that
me-
in there.
I have a noise. I don't want to look
So you got to get into these details,
yeah, 'cause
otherwise
right now this hair
it'll never
is
be
just like-
finished.
It looks like it's all
Whoops.
the length of brush. I don't have like some
Got that guy.
random, random length.
Like you can go like any of these things are expressions. So like length right here. So you can literally go
Get that
into it,
thumb.
and you can take it.
So we're building poses, you know, when you go through and you build the whole thing. You don't just like start moving them until it's posed. Otherwise, you're just moving this nebulous thing around that doesn't say anything. Okay, let's get that finger out there more. Okay, so he's reaching out a little bit. And this, let's twist this down some.
This is
Okay.
more color. So there's color.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I wanted to add, just have it, just give a
So I'm looking at the
slight
angles.
colors here and
Let's get that shoulder up some. Okay. That's pretty decent. His hips still feel kind of, ugh, I don't like that. So I'm going to use this to tweak that a bit. Okay, he's got weird things going on with those balls, like the top of his legs there, where they connect with the hips. So we just do the best we can with what we got, I guess.
So basically,
Okay,
it's,
so move that there. Now between this pose and this pose, number 5 and number 9,
it's RAND.
I don't know why it's not updating.
So
This is bizarre.
Okay.
This is making me mad here. Let's key everything, see what happens. S.
Where, for the color.
Key that
like,
here. Let's hit S.
On the expression tab there.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, anyway. So between 5 and 9. 1, 2. Okay, so now we have a pretty good, you know, another good pose.
And that's in.
But then you see how the foot and leg change? There needs to be a breakdown between these two. And again, we'll figure that out later. So now we have our big pose here. He's working into the punch.
We made a custom one.
Now for 15, or that's 14, that's actually should be 13. For 13, we want a big,
Then you just do this.
super strong
Okay, so I'll just look for,
Marvel
like,
Comics
Randomized color.
haymaker punch.
randomized- and
Okay,
is there
we're
any
gonna
way to get this-
push this guy to the limit.
duplicate
Okay,
it?
so we're gonna
I can
do that.
duplicate this. Okay, cool. I'll just do
And you use the hips here to rotate, like, you know,
Yeah, you can do that.
the hips or the waist.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll
But
do that.
actually, let's zero it out and start over.
And then
Okay, so
for the
we'll go
rigging,
something
like
like
when
that.
he is-
And then here I would use the cog a little bit. I would tilt it just a smidgen.
You get some animation.
Usually the cog is mostly just
Yeah,
translates.
bind patches for that trend.
Okay.
Okay.
Because normally
And then we'll
frozen
get that
after-
foot in a position once we get the body
Oh,
kind of
okay.
posed out. So I want him way over here.
'Cause I need-
So
I
let's
just need to pose him.
select
I know I can't select this right.
the trans, and I'll deselect that guy and this guy. And just move him this way.
See,
Oh, sorry.
I think when you delete a history, you undid it. It's
That
okay.
probably does.
It's alright.
So now we're
So
getting
I just won't save this.
to an extreme pose here.
Yeah, no.
All the weight is on this leg.
I think I changed the name. We hope so.
No, you didn't. That's alright.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, so I'll play with that
We might
some
even put this
more.
on his tippy,
I'll
put
get
him on his
armor
tippy
on
toe
him.
with this, but for now we'll leave it here.
I'm here all
See
week,
what
so-
happens when we get him
Yeah,
over
like
there.
for his cheeks, like,
So we're gonna
he's kinda-
twist.
he kind of has
Yeah, I
that,
would-
but
I would
can add that in
twist.
there,
Yeah, I would just do,
over it?
yeah, they can layer.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that too.
Because that right there would work. good
That'll
for-
look better.
for the
Twist.
tips.
Yeah, cool, I'll do
Okay.
that.
That's why I was thinking this could work as a global tube off the back.
Okay, so now
Well,
we have
no. I'll do
this
that for
way
the
out
cheeks,
here.
Because he does have like 3 little clumps together.
let's
That's
just,
not hard to
oh,
brush
what are you
in.
doing?
Does,
What are you
does this
doing?
make sense then?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that looks
isn't that
easier.
pretty cool?
Yeah, that is
It,
cool.
it's a, because it's a mix between
That-
modeling and.
And that's why it's awesome because I feel like I
Because
can
I want this
handle
as
that.
far as I can push
And
it.
I'll look into,
I'll zero this
I mean,
out.
For now, if I just get him how he is and render him out in a pose with his armor on, I'll be happy. But focus, yeah, I'm gonna try.
So
I'm
we're
trying.
going to take the
I wanna
spine
get him,
now,
I wanna get him like totally rigged and have his armor be like.
and I'll do this thing again where I
dynamic
twist him
and
even
everything,
more.
So, yeah, so I wanna get him like
Okay.
super awesome so that.
So he's also going to be kind of leaning forward.
So I'm about to do one.
So now I'll just take this guy. So I'm just kind of, I build and build and build and build until I get what I want.
A little boy, you gonna do Eric?
Okay.
No, but
No.
it's gonna be.
So maybe I'll turn this a little bit more that way,
I'm gonna- I wanna-
and then turn this a
I wanna
little bit
keep
more,
it
a big twist,
where you can put, like,
something like that.
fictional-
See what I meant about working within the confines of the anatomy?
Self-made.
You work on making it, you don't just like stretch it and
Yeah.
translate it over there. You,
The Overwatch
that doesn't work.
trailers, there's a little boy in there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You have to watch those. There's a little boy in there. I love
Just
his
like that?
style.
Okay.
He's
So
like a
maybe
9-year-old
you could do it where he has his head tilted down, or he's kind of looking still,
Yeah, go watch
but
the
he'd
Overwatch
still,
cinematics.
his head still would be kind of tucked down. Now,
Gorgeous.
Okay.
and when you lose the arm over here, sometimes it's easier just to go back to a previous frame to find it, like that. Easier to select,
Some what?
You got these,
Daily sketches of
and
you.
then the
No, with
rig
me?
falls
Yeah.
apart. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think Tim or somebody was had one by day. Like, you should
Okay,
put that
so
on. But this
so
was good
he
for
would,
me. He's like,
you know,
"That's
he's
just 30 minutes." And I was like, "Yeah."
swinging with all of his might. He's really trying to take this guy's head off.
Yeah, I would be sculpting more, but I got
So,
it fast sometimes.
Again, a lot of times you see me do this. I just zero things out and then just rebuild it.
I'm like switch forms. I was up till 4 in the morning.
That way, because sometimes when you build a pose and you just keep building on top of the one before it,
Yeah,
if
I
you
like-
have a problem in there, you just compound the problem, and that way you see it
You do like 2 or 3 of the ones like you have.
from one pose to the next if it's zeroed out.
Well, just get a couple under your belt before you
That's just me.
branch out and do something.
Okay, so now he's really punching.
You can scan that.
So we'll keep this arm tucked out, or tucked behind him a little bit too, so it doesn't kill the silhouette. So now let's work on his foot.
No.
This
That was a
goes
scan of-
up here, his pull vector.
On your phone.
Not on my phone, but.
And since his foot's off the ground and it's basically fully extended, we're just gonna rotate it
No, it's not. It's
Kinda
not.
creepy.
Yeah, it's not.
and then reunite it with the foot,
You can see where it's
and then we have to break that down
at.
and figure that out in the breakdown. So get rid of the heel ball and all that. Once the foot comes off the ground too,
Hand sculpted him.
I don't use any of these guys. It's just simpler to just rotate the foot or translate the foot than it is to try and use all these controls and these at the same time. It gets confusing.
Yeah.
So like right here, It's still a little too
That's
I like to
good.
play with different techniques.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm kind of digging in.
like that.
I really like.
Okay. So boom,
Blues we went for a long time ago, and they have the old
bang.
school
I don't know
fur,
why it's
and
doing that.
I like made grass with that.
There.
Oh, you'll be
This is just ridiculous here.
You're close.
I hit S.
I'm just a little.
It's like if I key after it, then it snaps it back.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that I'm just
How
going
bizarre.
that
Okay.
trips me up
So
is
we have that punch.
texture all
I don't
over
like the
again, so I'm
hand.
gonna have to have you show
I'm
me
gonna have the hand more of a
um,
fist, more of a rock'em sock'em kind of punch.
Yeah. Thanks for your
It's
help.
and it is a little bit
Yeah.
too far.
Cool. Well, I'll be posting stuff on the full stuff on the department group if I get any orders ready.
Okay.
Do some
So
blood checks with it. Have them like
is
smell.
it that one? Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
do
over
that,
there.
like, pose-wise, it's probably gonna
Okay.
be like just an old
Something like
samurai,
that.
black and white
And we'll make
pictures
this more of
with
a fist.
Yeah. Regal.
Yeah, he's gonna do one of those. I don't know how much time we can helmet either.
Or do one of these.
Just have him with his blades, you know, like ready like that.
Okay.
And
That
then
reads pretty
I'll
good.
go in and
Okay.
give him, like, do one
So now we have our pose there. So
You're
select
just
all,
13 characters,
keyed.
collaborate. I'll do
So
the
1,
part.
2,
fight.
3,
See, that would be fun, right?
Yeah. No, that's
4.
always fun.
Okay. So now we want 5. He's swinging, you know, from the top view. He's swinging from here to here, right? But his punch is going to go boom like that. He's got so much momentum
You're welcome.
that his body is going to continue forward because he's just throwing it out there. He's just giving it all he has. We actually might even want to rotate this down a little bit. Yeah, I like it better like this. Okay. So then we'll select all. Hit S. 17. S. 1, 2. Okay, and then his body's going to continue forward. And this foot will too, because it has to, because it has to catch him before he falls on his face. So here we'll give him some ball roll on the foot. Heel ball like that.
Well, okay.
Okay,
Going on there. Oh, you did your
something like that, and then we might have to
No,
drop
this
him
is
down
playing around
some.
with that scan head. No, I wasn't the other one. Yeah. Both of
Let's
them.
fix that knee.
So that's the one I've been working on. That's the scan one.
I'm just kind of used to there. Yeah, I think
Work
it just
on different techniques.
have faith,
It's up to you, man.
and it'll pop into place. Okay, so he's going to be like twisted around now. So now we'll take his cog, and he's going to be like this. And the foot's going to be trying to catch up with his body. So then this will be like that. The spine's still really, you know, twisted. And this arm will be coming around. It will have completed the arc, basically.
I'll be around tomorrow, too.
Okay. And then his head would probably still be kind of looking in the direction of where he punched. Somewhat. Okay, like that. This arm, well, I'm going to, actually, let's look at the pose here from the, okay, so 17, boom, bang. So if I do this, hit S, it'll pop when I go back. Okay, 1, 2. Step in, big punch. He's still moving forward. See how he's swinging's coming around now? Then the next pose is going to be, I'm going to build the next pose so I see where he's going. Dang it, come on. There. So from 17 to 21, so the next pose is going to be him stepping through. It's like he's plowing forward with this. Actually, we'll take this pose. Yeah, and I'll just pull that over here and just translate it forward. Nice. Let's zero those hips out just to see what's going on. The center of gravity will probably be lower. His hips will be rotated because he's got all that weight on that foot. That means his body, to stay in balance, it has to be over here in X, like that, which means his arm needs to be over here. See what I'm saying about deducing? It's like you get to a certain point and you realize, okay, well, in order to do that, I got to adjust this, which affects this, which affects this, you know, and it just kind of goes down the chain. Oops. So knees are always over the toes. Your knees, if they go too far this way or this way, it means your ankle's broken or your knee's dislocated. So you kind of think hip, toe, your knee, pole vector falls somewhere in the middle. Okay, so he's still off balance here, which means he needs to
Have you been watching
straighten up a little bit because his body's going down, which means his upper body will probably straighten a little bit. A little. Okay. Let's keep that head tucked. His arm is down,
quality?
and this maybe the arm would be back further, like more like this, and down, because maybe he swung up and down, like up and over,
For a little bit.
like that. Because he's swinging fast, and he's really trying to clobber that dude. So this arm would probably be back here. We don't want a broken wrist, so we would give the arm a natural pose here. And his shoulder, this shoulder would probably be down, because all of his momentum is going this way, which is pulling the arm this way. So we'll just zero it out and then rebuild it, something like that. Take his pole vector, fix the old elbow, which means this arm can come out more. Like that. A little busted. Fix that. There's that pole vector. And I don't like that arm like that, so I'm going to leave something like that. It creates like this kind of rhythm like that, right? Okay. Really, we got him really twisted there. So let's get his head looking this direction too. Yeah, awesome. It's kind of like after you throw a ball pitching. So he goes, you know, the punch comes through, boom, boom, bang. So he needs to be further forward. There. Okay, so we'll go from here to there. So I think he would even be further forward. So let's take the trans, turn off this foot, and then translate him forward some. Like that. Okay. Really, we're tweaking the heck out of this guy. But it's okay. It's dynamic. It looks awesome, right? It's animated. So now we go from here to there. So select all, make sure everything's keyed. Hit S. Okay, let's save the scene just to be safe. This will be O2. Okay, and I'm going to stop this here and then start a new video just because it's getting really long.